The village of Glenmore had always been nestled quietly by the banks of Loch Ness, its serene waters cloaked in fog and the whispers of the past. The villagers often told tales of the Loch Ness Monster, an enormous serpent-like creature that was said to dwell just beneath the surface, unseen yet always felt. It was a comforting legend, one that brought about nightly storytelling by the fire, but time had weathered the tale into something broader, a cautionary reminder to respect the monsters hidden in the darkness. One summer, 3 friends, Lucy, Mark, and Jenna, decided to camp by the loch. They had been enchanted by the stories, excitable to catch a glimpse of the creature they believed only existed in the folklore of old. Armed with snacks, a camera, and a glow-in-the-dark lantern, they pitched their tent just on the banks, determined to stay awake through the night. As twilight wrapped the landscape in deep hues of indigo and violet, they lit a small fire and began to share tales of the Loch Ness Monster. Lucy, always the bravest among them, began weaving a story of a fisherman who had seen a shadow glide beneath the water, followed by the echoing call of a beast that shook the earth. But as her imagination blossomed, a chill crept into the air, rustling the reeds and making the flames flicker. "Come on, Lucy, it's just a story." Mark laughed, but a nervousness hung at the back of his throat. Jenna, half terrified and half intrigued, leaned closer. "But what if it's real? What if it's just hiding beneath the surface?" Her thoughts danced between belief and skepticism. "As long as we don't go swimming, I think we'll be just fine," Mark assured, but the darkened waters of the loch glimmered ominously under the moonlight, as if hiding secrets buried deep within. As the night deepened, they grew quieter, the jovial energy folding into a more contemplative silence. They watched the water lap gently against the banks, the sound soothing yet unsettling, like something whispering under its breath. Suddenly, a low rumble echoed through the valley, causing the trio to freeze in place. "What was that?" Lucy's eyes widened. "Probably just the wind," Mark said, more to reassure himself than the others. But he couldn't shake the feeling that something was lurking just beyond their fire's light. Just then, Jenna pointed toward the loch. "Look," she gasped. A dark shape cut through the water, gliding smoothly, slicing through the moonlit surface like a knife. The lantern flickered, casting shadowy forms that danced alongside them, amplifying their fear. "Let's check it out," Lucy exclaimed, more impatient than cautious. "Are you crazy? It could be dangerous," Mark protested, but Lucy had already grabbed a flashlight and headed toward the edge of the water. Jenna followed reluctantly, her heart pounding in sync with the sound of the loch lapping against its shores. "This is a bad idea," she muttered under her breath, but she didn't want to be left behind. As they reached the water's edge, the shadows beneath the surface began to move more erratically, as if disturbed by something. Suddenly, a massive head broke the water, rising and revealing a long, serpentine neck wrapped in glistening scales. The monster loomed over them, its eyes dark and knowing, reflecting moonlight like dim stars. Screams erupted, sharp and shrill, and the 3 friends stumbled back, adrenaline pumping through their veins. "Run!" Mark shouted, and they bolted back toward the safety of their tent, the ground trembling with the power of whatever had emerged from the depths. Their frantic laughter mingled with shouts of terror. The reality was too surreal to accept. They dove into the tent, breathless, hearts racing. They zipped it tight, though the material felt flimsy against whatever terror awaited them outside. Inside, the sounds of their panic were suddenly muted, replaced by an eerie stillness. The lantern cast flickering shadows, creating distorted monsters on the walls of their tent, a mirror of their fears. "What do we do?" Lucy whispered, her face pale in the dim light. "Just wait," Mark breathed, trying to calm them despite his quivering hands. But outside, a heavy silence had settled, a void that hinted at danger lurking just beyond their flimsy walls. Then they heard it, a low, guttural roar that shook the very earth beneath them. The tent shuddered violently, as if something large was pushing against it from the outside. They huddled closer together, breaths hitching in fear. The sound of splashing water and rumbling echoed once more. This beast was alive, undeniably monstrous. Minutes stretched into hours, and the friends exchanged fearful glances, wondering if they would see sunrise again. Just when the silence felt interminable, a sudden crash sent them all screaming. The tent shook again. The zipper was pulled slowly down, revealing the dark outline of the creature against the moonlit waters. Though they never did find out what the Loch Ness Monster was, it vanished as suddenly as it had appeared. Just three frightened kids in a tent, misjudging the boundary between legend and reality. Many years later, they would look back on that night, not with a sense of disbelief or regret, but with an understanding that some myths aren't just stories. They are warnings. And with the loch still sitting quietly against the Scottish moor, its depths remained undisturbed, holding on to secrets that would never be shared, no matter how many hearts dared to brave the waters.